Hi, my name is Annika and I'm a rising freshman at Menlo School. For my main project, I did the CNC plotter. In my first milestone, I disassembled my DVD drives and got both of my stepper motors to run. In disassembling my DVD drives, I found that it was important to eject the disc tray before taking them apart. In the end, I was left with two stepper motors and with the rails attached. Then the next thing I did was I used a multimeter to find out which two wires corresponded with each other. In a stepper motor, there are two coils and four wires, so two of the wires correspond with one of the coils, and then the other two wires corresponds with the other coil. So you have to use a multimeter to find out which two correspond. After that, the next thing I had to do was solder the wires onto the stepper motors. What I found to make this easier was to cut the Kapton tape into 4 different pieces, since as you can see here, it's pretty small, and so that made it easier to solder on each of the wires. After I soldered on 4 wires onto each of the motors, I used heat shrink tubing, which is this here, to make everything secure and to prevent things from breaking. So then my next challenge was to get the stepper motors to work. So in order to do that, I used an Arduino, a half-size breadboard, and 2 A4988 stepper motor drivers. Each stepper motor driver has 2 wires connecting to the Arduino. One controls the steps and the other controls the direction. In addition, there are also 2 wires from the Arduino to the breadboard. One is for ground and the other is for power. This black piece here is a capacitor, and it removes voltage ripples, which is really important when using stepper motors, because stepper motors need to be very exact and precise so they can't have voltage ripples. And so my power source here is a 9-volt battery, and that supplies power to the stepper motor drivers and the stepper motors. And then this portable charger provides power for the Arduino. And then so the next thing I did was I coded to make so that both of the stepper motors would run at the same time. And so at the beginning of my void loop, so the direction pin, I set that to high so that it will run counterclockwise. And then in my for loop, I set it to high and then delay it for a certain amount of time. And that's, if you increase the amount of time that it delays, the speed will decrease. And if you decrease the delay time, the speed will increase. Then I set the step pin to low and then put more delay time. After that, I had a similar thing of code, but this time the direction pin was set to low so that it would run in the opposite direction. Here's an example of the motor drives working. As you can see, they run in sync. And so for my next milestone, I plan to construct my X, Y, and Z axis.